The index controllers. They're generally something that people dislike, not because of their features. No. They're great controllers, but for their build quality and quality control in general. So many index controllers have just gone broken, and not necessarily for throwing them at the wall. They've just broken down over time, which is something people don't see should happen to VR controllers. Something that is going to be used pretty hardcore, probably more hardcore than your average PlayStation controller. Probably. While the index controllers currently are the only ones on the market with the feature set that they have, companies have been working hard. And that is why today we are going to be taking a look at the Pimax Sword controllers. They look completely different to anything that I've seen. The design on them is pretty intense. This is not a review, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But first, let's get right into the unboxing and first look. So this is the box the Pimax Sword comes in. Looks pretty basic. I do not know whether this could possibly change in the future. Opening it up, we've got a nice little foam pad here covering everything up, holding it in place. A little Pimax Sword card right here. And then in here, we've got the controllers themselves. Here, it seems we've got 2 removable batteries. That's something the Index doesn't have. Removable batteries. That is really cool. I love replaceability. These seem to be for Sony NP-BX1. So these seem to be something that you can find readily available. And then in here we seem to have, whoa, this is very well packed. Ugh. Oh, come on. 2 very long USB Type-C cables. That's very nice. Why is this not a review? In here we've got the Pimax Sword controllers. So what's up? Well, the simple reason is, well, first of all, look at this. While the hardware on these might be completely finalized, and I did get that confirmation, the software side is completely not. So while I did not get permission to tell you guys any of the specs, yes, I do know them, and I think you are going to love them once you find out, I was allowed to try them out in a game. So I'm not allowed to show you any of the software like PyTool or Steam VR because that's just not final. That is going to be a little bit further on in October, where all of that is going to be finalized and we're finally going to have a review. However, after a little bit of back and forth on the email side of things, I was allowed to check these out in Beat Saber. So while that won't show us any of the features like hand tracking, which these are supposedly going to have, it's not on right now, by the way, in the software. Let's take a look at the controllers a little bit closer up. Now, one thing worth noting is that these are base station tracked controllers. So no, they will not connect to the Quest, well, unless you have base stations and open VR Space Calibrator. Then they should connect, no problem. Just like the Index controllers or any other Steam VR based controller. But yes, you do need a VR-ready PC for this, and no, they will not work with the Quest out of the box. Why? So, as you can see, here's the controller itself. First thing you notice is this giant ring. Well, get used to it, because this is supposedly what we are going to have on the PSVR. So, this giant ring here really reminds me of something like, say, the PSVR. However, looking at the controllers themselves, you're gonna notice something straight away. At least the model I've got here, supposedly there is going to be 2, has a touchpad instead of a joystick, an analog stick. And second of all, very, very obvious straight away, we're missing the second button. We've only got 1. So normally there'd be an A and B button on these, like on the Index controllers, like on the Oculus Touch controllers. Here we seem to only have 1, and a flat button that I presume is going to be the Steam VR home button. We've got this right here that really resembles the Index knuckle strap, and same thing, you just pull on it and it goes right back in place. It does move, but it doesn't lock in place, which is an interesting design right there. Other than that, they are very comfortable. They fit right into the hand, just like they should. And something else, even with the full finger tracking, which again, we can't test, and I don't know how well it works, we have a button right here, a grip button. Now, I personally like this a little bit more, because what I found is, on the Index controllers, sometimes it's actually quite difficult to just do things. For example, I want to throw something in game. Sometimes when I let go of the controller, there's a little bit of delay that isn't there on, say, the touch controllers. It's very weird. And you press it down, of course, and then there's that little satisfying click. same thing here. And at the bottom of the controller, we've got a Type-C port for charging. Well, I must say I'd be quite upset if that thing was a micro USB at this point in time in 2021. So that's quite cool. I'm a big fan of rechargeables, and I've replaced all my Quest controllers with rechargeable batteries. So big props for that. So yeah, these seem to be very nicely built. However, something really cool that I want you to see when I did turn them on is check this out. They've got LEDs. Now, once again, while I can't show you the full-blown features of these, what I can do is throw us into Beat Saber, where we can check out how accurate these are in tracking. And at least we can do that. So let's get right into that. So here we are playing Beat Saber. As many of you may know, I can't play the actual music because, well, we'd get copyrighted and all hell would break loose. Also, don't try to criticize my Beat Saber skills. I know they're not the best, okay? It's nothing new. Beat Saber decided to update, so I lost all my mods, so no Camera Plus, or whatever it's called now. Either way, the tracking worked really well. So I couldn't imagine them working worse than the index controllers or any other base station tracked device. They felt very comfortable in the hand playing Beat Saber, if that's something any of you care about, and the big rings didn't really stop me from making any worse swings or anything like that. They didn't restrict my arm movements or anything. So if that's anything you guys care about, there you go. It's kind of unfortunate that we only get to test it in Beat Saber, but it still gives us a little hint of the fact that the tracking works really well. Okay. Whoops. Danny just died. 1 like equals 1 Danny saved. Okay, so that was pretty amazing. I won't lie to you. But I mean, just as amazing as the index controllers. The features that make these things unique, I can't mention to you guys yet, which is so unfortunate. But they work really, really well. And I mean, their tracking is fantastic. I mean, so is the index controllers. They're base station tracked, meaning, well, they're going to be fantastic either way. The thing is, look at those rings. I mean, there could be a case made here that with a ring as huge as this, these could possibly be better than the index controllers, but with base station tracking, there really isn't that much room for failure anyway, except for occlusion, which I guess occlusion on these is more difficult because it's like around your wrist. Also, it feels different to have the ring around your wrist than it does to have something big hanging out here. It almost feels as if I'm less worried to hit something, even though I should be more worried about hitting something because it's all around my wrist instead of just being in a single spot. It just feels like I'm less worried for some reason. I guess maybe it's because my wrist is here and I feel like I'm gonna hit my wrist more instead of this, even though that's probably not true. Either way, well, they track fantastically. They're base station tracked, no surprise there. Also, while gaming, just the feel of these in my hand, it feels like that damage-resilient coating put on the Pimax headset. So once again, I don't actually have confirmation on that one, but during the full review in October, all the specs and everything will be revealed. We're just lucky enough to be able to have a hands-on here and test these things out with accuracy and really get a hands-on with these, which is quite cool. So yeah, that was our hands-on with the Pimax Sword controllers. Now, while I did try these with a Pimax, it is important to note they will work with any other Steam VR headset just like the index controllers would. They pair just like the index controllers would. So we might finally have an index controller competitor for anybody that doesn't feel like buying the index controllers and instead would want something else. But I guess the hardware and the looks are only half of the story. We really need to wait until October to see the software and see how well these will work full-time, with everything 100%. Only then can we make the conclusion of how good these actually are. This was just our hands-on. And I'm just looking over there and I see the amount of boxes we have of things to review, and it's actually scary. Like, look what came in today. Oh. The Deca Move is here. So yeah, we have a lot of things that I need to check out for you guys, and I've just been completely overwhelmed. So stick with me, we're gonna get through all this. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about our hands-on with the Pimax Sword controllers. Do you like the looks, or do you prefer the looks of the index controllers? Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like. If you guys disliked it, I guess this button works too, but please tell me why down in the comment section below. If you guys have not yet joined our community, make sure to check out our Discord down below. Make sure to check out our Reddit, where I want to see you posting your spice memes. And if you guys would like to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, we've got sick mugs down below that boost your FPS by 300% and merch that doesn't put a huge ad in your body. And if you guys want to know future content coming up on the channel, expect to subscribe on my belly, and see you in the next video. Peace. That was gibberish. Let's do that again. And if you guys want to know future content coming up on the channel, expect to subscribe on my bell and see you in the next video. Peace.